All right, guys, I apologize for being dressed down here. I am repping the Gauge podcast here. Awesome hat from an awesome podcast, 12 Gauge Ranch. We just did a podcast down here in Dallas. I am traveling, staying with some friends, and these are kind of my travel clothes. I have some nicer clothes, but I use them for the podcast, so this is what you get. Sorry about that. But we need to talk about what is happening with Wall Street, Robinhood, GameStop, the news being complicit in this really shady story and some shady happenings that are happening to private citizens right now, private citizen investors specifically. So in order for you to understand this, you need to understand a basic element of Wall Street and of stocks, and that is that the NYSE and Wall Street stock investing, it is a place of investing in companies that you believe in or in leadership teams that you believe in the future of companies, and then floating them, right, financially. And then everyone succeeds when they succeed because you put in your money, and then they put in the work, and they drive that company up, and they drive the investment that you've made, the basically partial ownership upwards. It is a place of that. However, Wall Street and the NYSE is also a place of betting, of basically betting that either for or against the company, whether or not you think they will succeed. And then it's a place of bets on bets. So betting is something like a short, where I say, I believe that company X is so likely to fail that I'm going to bet against them. And to do this, I can essentially take out shares or money from another company or from another fund, and I can short company X. I can say I bet against them. I think that their sales or their shares rather will tank, and I think that they're going to fail. And if I'm correct in that short, then I win a lot of money. This happened actually in the popular movie, The Big Short. In the 2008 stock market crash, specifically housing markets, people saw the writing on the wall, and they said, we bet against this market. We bet against these investors and these companies, and they won. But then there's bets on bets, right? So bets on people saying, I think that Luke's bet is either going to go good or bad, and thus they can buy in there and they can invest there. So there's a lot of money tied up, though, right, in these predictions. And some very smart private citizens who existed well within the law decided, hey, let's go find companies that look like they're failing. BlackBerry, GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond. These companies that look like they're on their last leg, right? They're on their way out, which means they probably have a lot of people who have shorted them, who have bet against them. They saw the writing on the wall, accurately so, and they said, I think that GameStop is going out of style. I think that BlackBerry is being destroyed by iPhone and Android. And so we're going to bet against them. We're going to short them. So these massive hedge funds did something that's pretty smart, and they shorted these companies. They bet against them. But then a bunch of private citizens on Reddit and on other sites online said, what if we buy up a bunch of stocks and drive up the stock price of these failing companies? So GameStop is the classic example, but BlackBerry, AMC theaters are going under due to COVID-19, right? What if we kind of inflate the price of these stocks because let's say we have a chat room of 1 million of us, and each of us puts in $1,000. That's a lot of money going into the stocks. And all of a sudden, everyone else in the market then logs onto their app, right? Whether it's Schwab or Robinhood, and they go, oh my gosh, why is GameStop going up so much? Why is AMC going up? So then they buy, and then it becomes this snowball, right? And everybody's buying in, but then who gets screwed there? It's these massive fund managers and massive companies who have shorted the companies that they thought were going to fail. I hope this makes sense. It's a little bit all over the place, and I'm not a stock expert at explaining this stuff, but this is the knowledge that I have that I am trying to share clearly to you guys. So what happened then, though? So this is all completely legal. Private citizens, friends, family members, chat room members, you can absolutely decide, hey, let's all buy this stock. Nothing illegal about that at all. And as a matter of fact, hedge fund managers and CEOs and the leaders of these companies who want to inflate stock prices, they do this all the time. They go on the news and talk up a company to get people to invest in it, or they have meetings, some of them public, that we have on record, where they talk about how they're going to target a stock to either tank it and bet against it or try and drive up its value. This happens all the time, and sometimes it crosses over into insider trading and stuff where someone from the company in question is benefiting benefiting directly from it. But other times it's just people betting on a company, and it's completely legal. So what happened? Well, in short, unfortunately, we got to see what happens when small villagers like us, peasants like us, right? When the wrong people make the right money. What happens? The media and the elites come down hard. They are perfectly happy with you having your investment in their company. They're perfectly happy to have mom and pop invest their life savings into a 401k or something that floats the status quo. And then if mom and pop fail in a stock market crash, well, that's too bad. That's on mom and pop. But as soon as the little guys start making big money at the expense of the big guys, oh man, does the system unify and come down on them. We see the media coming down on them, calling these people white supremacists and all kind of hateful things just because they're the little guys making money against the inner circle, against the elites who think that they should be protected from this type of loss. I'm going to post a list below of the news channels and of the companies involved here, and let you know specifically who has been doing what to shut down this perfectly legal process that just happens to be us little peasants winning against the big guys, because they're perfectly happy with you injecting your money into the system and keeping their status quo afloat. But as soon as you start becoming a threat to them, that's when, as we've seen in the media, as we've seen in big corrupt businesses, and as we've seen in politics, that's when everyone comes down and cracks down against you. So what happened here? Well, we saw mainstream media demonizing the people who did this. We saw big business demonizing the people who did this and crying foul, even though there's nothing illegal about it. And we have the primary app, the investment app, Robinhood, used for this, shutting down the purchasing of these stocks. So basically saying you can no longer purchase these stocks. We're not letting you invest anymore. And forcefully selling some people's stocks. So saying, hey, you have AMC stocks, we're selling your stocks right now. Congrats, here's your money. Before it goes any higher, we're shutting this down right now. That is extremely shady. There are going to be major lawsuits about this in this completely un-American execution of a free market. Really, this is people being dragged out in the streets figuratively and being told, you cannot participate like this in the free market because you're winning and we don't like you winning and upsetting our boat. That's all for today, guys. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.